together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Thursday, the 14th day of May for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Lots of things going on. We'll talk about the Nebraska baseball team. They'll be in action today. They're playing the final regular season series of the season this weekend up in Minneapolis against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. It'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series this week with the first game getting underway at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Meanwhile, the Nebraska softball team, they're getting ready to host its first regional since 2013 this weekend as it welcomes in number 21 Grand Canyon, number 25 Louisville, and South Dakota State to Lincoln for an NCAA regional. We'll tell you about that coming up. Jordy Fromm of Nebraska has been named a top 10 candidate for the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year Award. Hastings College men's golf team has made the cut at the NAIA Championships in Silvis, Illinois. The Doane baseball team, they won the Lincoln Regional yesterday and will play the NAIA World Series in Lewiston, Idaho for the first time ever. Dordt has won the 2025-2026 Great Plains Athletic Conference All-Sports Trophy. We had state high school soccer again yesterday in Omaha. We had district track meets held yesterday. One we'll concentrate on will be the D6 district track meet that was held yesterday in Kennesaw. The NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs all going on yesterday. So all of that and more is coming up for you here this morning. Also expect to hear from Tim Jones from Nebraska Weather TV this morning. Evidently, we're headed for maybe a rocky weekend as far as the weather is concerned. And we're going to talk about that on the show as well. He's going to join us somewhere around 7:15 this morning. So all that and more is coming up as you join us at the breakfast table here this morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Yes, good morning. As long as we're not talking about the dirty S word about weather, I'm great. You know, when he comes on in the wintertime and talks about blizzards and stuff, no thank you. But, yeah, I could do a little storm chasing.
Yeah, I expect some rocky stuff this weekend, and Tim will tell us about it here at 7:15. I saw a possibility of some hail, maybe even some tornadoes this weekend. So we'll get the latest on the weather coming up here in just a few minutes. A couple of interesting things happened yesterday. The game between the Kansas City Royals and the Chicago White Sox last night was delayed for a brief time after a fan fell out of the stands and into the Kansas City bullpen in right field. After receiving assistance, the fan was taken out of the bullpen on a gurney. The White Sox said that the fan was subsequently taken to a local hospital for further treatment, but did not immediately have any more information on the fan's condition. So if you were watching the Royals game last night or listening to the Royals game last night, that's what happened. They had a brief time delay when a fan fell out of the stands and into the Kansas City bullpen.
So that's not good.
It happens.
Supposed to stay in your seat.
Yeah, you hear about that, but hopefully the fan is okay. It's Thursday. That means tonight we get the schedule release.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it all week. The NFL schedule release is coming out tonight, 7 o'clock. I think it is on ESPN. Anyway, some more games have leaked out in the past 24 hours. The Green Bay Packers will visit the Los Angeles Rams in the NFL's first Thanksgiving Eve game. Now we're going to have games on Thanksgiving Eve. The Packers and the Rams will play on Thanksgiving Eve on November 25th. It'll start at 7 o'clock. This will be one of those games that will be streamed on Netflix. So now you're going to have to worry about your fantasy football team on Thanksgiving Eve, in addition to all those Thanksgiving Day games. Netflix will also televise the Week 1 game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Rams. That'll be played in Melbourne, Australia. Netflix will also air 2 games on Christmas Day and one on Saturday in Week 18. So add Netflix to the list of channels and apps that you're going to need for NFL football this year, as the Thanksgiving Eve game will take place at 7 o'clock on November 25th.
I like it. I like the idea. That's a great opportunity to start a new football tradition. That's already such a great time to catch up and go out for drinks with the family. Why not have a little football game on? Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah, your fantasy football lineup, right? You're going to get done with Monday Night Football. You'll have Tuesday to try to pick up any waiver wire activity that you need. And then by Wednesday, you need to submit your lineups again because we're going to be playing football. I'm cool with that. Just pay attention. Pay attention.
IT guys already chiming in on our social media sites. Going to have to adjust my lineup while making the mashed potatoes. Yeah, so if you're getting ready for a big Thanksgiving feast, now while you're putting the turkey in the oven the night before, making up the mashed potatoes, anything else, making the salads, you've got to worry about watching NFL footballs. We're going to have the Packers and the Rams play on Thanksgiving Eve. Mm-hmm. So that's something new that came out in the last 24 hours. Cool. If you've been watching any of the NBA playoff games this year and think that there's a hell of a lot of fouls being called, you're right. NFL referees are calling about 11% more personal fouls per game so far in the playoffs than they did during the regular season. And that's a trend that we have seen. The NBA is seeing an increase in foul calls from the regular season to the playoffs for the 66th time in its 80-year history. This season is seeing a differential of higher than 10% in that regard for only the 6th time, though, in the last 60 years. The 5 biggest increases from the regular season to the playoffs in calling fouls was 13 to 17%. And they all took place between 1949 and 1955. We're seeing an 11% increase in personal fouls being called during the postseason compared to the regular season for the first time in a long time since 1955, the biggest increase since 1955 in the NBA playoffs.
It's okay. Relax. LeBron's out now, so those numbers will go back down to normal. Realistically, Mike, it should be going the other direction.
That's what I say. Why are referees getting involved in the NBA playoffs as much as they are, calling all these damn fouls?
You get the best of the best, and you just want to see that be competitive basketball. Good physical, competitive basketball. I don't want to sit there and you're talking about your prime product here. This is your playoffs. This is where you get your casual fans to actually give a damn for once, right? This is where you want to show it off a little bit. And you're sitting there, and it's nothing more than a second-grade free throw shooting contest that's happening in a game. I'm not going to watch that. That's piss-poor quality. I'm going to go over to the ice and be entertained. I'm with you. That needs to be the other direction. You got to let these guys play. These guys do their thing. Let them play.
Let them play.
That's what fans pay to see. They don't pay to see a free throw contest.
Well, instead we're seeing like a 3-point shooting contest anyway in the NBA.
Right. It's just a 3-point shooting contest and a free throw contest.
So the referees need to suck up on their whistles a little bit. if you're seeing you're saying, God, there's a lot of fouls being called in this game. You're right, 11% more during the playoffs than they are in the regular season. 7-10, which leads us into the NBA scoreboard from last night.
Smooth transition.
Cleveland beat Detroit last night 117 to 113. Cleveland now leads that series 3-2. That's the Eastern Conference semifinals. Now, there's no games on tap tonight for some reason. This is the first time in several days that we haven't had any NBA games tonight. There's no games scheduled for tonight, but the Friday schedule will have 2, and it could be series clinchers. Detroit will play at Cleveland on Friday. Like we mentioned, Cleveland leading that series 3-2. San Antonio is playing at Minnesota on Friday. San Antonio leads that series 3-2. So that, my friend, is what's going on in the NBA.
Cleveland was down 2-0, weren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, Detroit had a 2-0 lead, and Cleveland's marched 3 back.
Yeah.
Let's see. On the ice, it unfortunately came to an end for the Minnesota Wild last night. Dude, they threw everything at Colorado and just couldn't get it. Yeah, I feel like it was kind of like a Hastings College Doan situation from the baseball season where, I mean, they just played damn good hockey against arguably the odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup. Had the 3-2 lead yesterday. Colorado ends up tying the game. Actually, they had a 3-1 lead going in with 6 minutes left. Colorado scores 2 goals in the final 6 minutes, push it to overtime. That was all she wrote. Nathan McKinnon, Stan Kroenke, you're an asshole. I hate Colorado. But they advance. Winning over Minnesota. Tonight, I love the pivotal. You got to call it a pivotal Game 5. 2-2 tie between Buffalo and Montreal. Go Sabres. And Marcus's Ducks look to try to even series and force a Game 7 against Vegas. But that baby's not kicking off until 8:30 Central Standard Time. So get your nap in if you want to stay up and watch some West Coast hockey tonight.
Vegas leading the series 3-2. The Golden Knights.
Yes.
All right, so that's what's going on in hockey. State soccer in Omaha yesterday. The Class B girls were on the field. Mm-hmm. Elkhorn beat Kearney Catholic yesterday by a score of 5-0. It's only the second loss of the season for the Stars. Their season obviously over as they lose in the first round of the state soccer tournament. The other games yesterday in the Class B girls side, Lincoln Pius over Scotus 9-2. Blair beat Gretna East 3-1. Scott over Norris by the score of 2-0. Class B boys will be on the field today, which completes the opening round. God, this thing seems like it's been going on forever, and we're just through the opening round today. Class B boys, it'll be Gretna against Lincoln Pius, Omaha Roncalli against Elkhorn North, Schuyler against Omaha Scott, and then Bennington will play Lexington in the final game tonight in Omaha. So, and that'll complete the opening round in both classes for both the boys and girls. We'll get into the semis coming up tomorrow. But
soccer takes less time than basketball. Relax. Basketball takes freaking 2 weeks to complete the cycle.
I mean, yeah, I guess boys and girls, if you're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're playing all this soccer all in 1 week at Morrison Stadium in Omaha.
Yep.
So Class B boys will be on the field today. The Doane baseball team yesterday, they won the Lincoln Regional, so they're heading to the NAIA World Series in Lewiston, Idaho for the first time ever.
That's awesome.
Doane beat Madonna of Michigan 7-4 yesterday in the championship game of that Lincoln Regional to punch their ticket to the World Series. So congratulations to the Doane baseball team. Saw them several times throughout the year. They'll get to play in the World Series this year for the first time ever. World Series will get underway on May the 22nd. So you get to make the trip to beautiful Lewiston, Idaho.
Well, we had 6 games against Doane, right? and then won one of them at the opening round of the conference tournament, and then 7 games against Stone, because then we had to play them twice in the if necessary. So 7 games, literally threw everything we had at them. I mean,
yeah, they were good.
They were super good, but man, we were super competitive. You have to be able to look at that and take that as a positive note for the Bronco baseball team. You have to be able to look at it and say, listen, man, there was 3 or 4 times this season that we put a team that just advanced to the World Series on freaking panic mode. We had them on red alert. Like, that's a positive for this baseball team. If that doesn't punch you in the face and say, we got to be proud of what we were able to accomplish this year, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that series.
Hats off to Doan, but HC had them on the ropes.
Yeah, that series that was played in Hastings, it was a 4-game series. Yeah, Doan won all 4 of those games.
Yeah.
But Hastings was right with him. It was like the final inning.
We had 2 games in that series. I did that series for you. We had 2 games in that series where we had the winning run on third base and less than 2 outs. 2 of those games, we had the winning run 90 feet away and couldn't find a way to get the job done to get the victory. So, you take those, you flip them, you win in the opening round of the conference tournament against them. You had an opportunity, I think, in that first game before the bats finally woke up and then just buried the rest of the pitching staff, but had them on the ropes, dude. Put up a good fight.
So anyway,
and now Doan's in the World Series.
Yeah, see what they do there. See how the GPAC stacks up on the national level as far as the baseball is concerned.
It's been a while since we've had a GPAC team there.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we had a GPAC
Morningside, maybe?
Play. Maybe. Yeah, we'd have to do some diving into that.
Morningside had some good baseball teams. I remember them.
Concordia, they were ousted from the Salina, Kansas regional yesterday. They lost to Kansas Wesleyan 5-4. The Dort softball team was the last softball team out of the GPAC that was still alive, but they were eliminated yesterday out in Ashland, Oregon. They lost to Southern Oregon yesterday by the score of 10-2. So things winding down for the GPAC. Hastings College men's golf team. They made the cut. They didn't play nearly as well as the first round, but they made the cut at the NAIA Championships in Silvis, Illinois. The Broncos now have a 2-day total of plus 29, good enough for 9th place overall. Max Nielsen and Taiki Sugawara of Hastings are currently tied for 25th place overall. They've got a score of plus 6. So you had to be in the top 15 of the NAIA Championships after the first 2 rounds to play on Thursday and Friday. Hastings College did that. They're currently in 9th place, so they'll get to play a couple of more rounds now on Thursday and Friday, today and tomorrow, to wrap up their first ever trip to the NAIA Men's Golf National Championships going on this week in Silvis, Illinois.
They have a team combined score of, you said, plus 26?
Plus 29.
Plus 29? I am going to, hold on, I'm going to do some math. I'm going to keep on mathing. That is a plus 29 team cumulative score after 36 holes is better than my individual score after 11 holes of golf on average. On average. I would be about a plus 30 come about hole 11 or 12. Give or take a few pluses.
I've seen you play golf before.
I have my moments, but they are few and far between.
All right, we're expecting Tim Jones. He's going to join us. He had to download a couple of more weathers. In fact, he's going to call in right now. As he's going to buzz us. Tim Jones from Nebraska Weather TV is going to join us here this morning on Huddle Up to talk some potential for some severe weather coming up this weekend. Hey, Tim, thanks for joining us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. It's been a while. We haven't had a whole lot to talk about the last, almost a year. How are you?
Good. What's been going on in the Weather Center? You just been kind of hanging out, like I said. Normally, when we talk to you, we talk about blizzards and stuff like that. We didn't have a we didn't have a winter, did we?
Well, I think if you blink, you missed it. I believe we came out just over 8 inches of snow here in Hastings. By contrast, our average snowfall, during the winter season is about 26 inches. So, we had all those little hit or miss snow events, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, you blink, you missed it. But really not much in the way of an Arctic outbreak. And in terms of severe weather, the rainfall has really favored the southeastern and eastern part of the state. That's where the severe weather has been. But I'm pretty confident that's going to change over the next 5 days, and that's what we're going to talk about, Mike.
All right, so what's the scoop? We'll get your forecast here in a little bit, but what's the scoop for the weekend? What's the folks got to be aware of this weekend?
Well, and let's talk about, obviously this part of May we have graduations, unless those are done, but we have graduation parties. And graduation parties, you can't have a graduation party in Nebraska if it doesn't involve your garage, a workshop, the barn, whatever, or just generally outside. And I'm more concerned just Saturday, Sunday, into Monday for these days. And I think as we get through Sunday and Monday, that threat increases. But today and tomorrow, there are some risks here in Nebraska. Everything today and tomorrow looks to be very hit or miss. We're talking any storm that does form would be large hail damaging winds. There is. Let's see. This is tomorrow. I'm just going through my graphics here. Today is a 1 out of 5 on the threat scale. Let's call it about Highway 2, Highway 30 down into Kansas. The better chance for severe weather will be in Kansas later on tonight. On the other side of the Nebraska-Kansas border. And then I think the southeastern part of the state, Beatrice, to the east of there over to Iowa, maybe as far north as Lincoln and Omaha, could see a couple storms later on the evening. Of course, tomorrow there is in the extreme southeastern part of the state, there's a 2 out of 5 or a slight risk. By color code, that's that yellow area. Surrounding that up to Lincoln and Omaha is a 1 out of 5. That's the green area. That's a marginal risk. Tri-Cities, just kind of on the edge of that. I'm not terribly concerned, Mike, with the Tri-Cities today and tomorrow unless something drastically changes. But then as we get into Saturday and Sunday and Monday, then things start to change in terms of where we need to elevate our heightness and our awareness for severe weather, because then we bring in not only large hail damaging winds into the threats, but also maybe a few tornadoes as well. And I especially believe that for Sunday and maybe Monday as well. So again, a lot to talk about. Let's talk about Saturday. That would be day 3 here. Today's day 1, Friday day 2, day 3 on Saturday. There's a 2 out of 5 or a slight risk that does include the Tri-Cities. If you draw a line essentially from about Sioux City, Iowa to McCook, Nebraska, south of that line would be the slight risk area. Just to the north of that would be a marginal risk or a 1 out of 5. So these storms will get going in that area along a surface boundary. Again, initially large hail damaging winds, a few tornadoes. Timing Saturday would be Saturday afternoon through the evening. Things are going to change a little bit, and we have to get through today and tomorrow and then on Saturday before we have a better look at that. So people really need to be weather aware and stay in tune with the forecast over the coming days, because things are going to change slightly. And as I've always said, our forecast models, especially the shorter term ones, sometimes can struggle when we've got a series of days, whether it's snowfall like we used to get here in Nebraska, but especially severe weather. So we need to constantly be tweaking the forecast a little bit. And so that is Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're going to elevate that risk, and I think we're going to end up on Sunday and Monday with a 3 out of 5 on the threat scale. That would be an enhanced risk. Now, I want to preface by saying, people that have storm phobia, not everybody likes thunderstorms. Some of us like to go out in the front yard and look at the sky, especially if the outdoor warning sirens are going off. Some people get very afraid and get anxiety over storms, and I know a lot of people like that. So I really want to address them. And the naysayers, there's going to be people that because our lack of rainfall this year, or it never affects them, some people say, well, the storm split and go around us. I don't know how many times, Mike, I hear people say that the storm split and go around us here in Hastings. Well, not everybody in these outlook areas will have a chance for severe weather, but not everybody is going to get severe weather. It's just like summertime rainfall and thunderstorms. There's always the haves and have-nots. So somebody is going to not get severe weather and say, well, they were wrong, nothing happened. But 20 miles away, there could have been golf ball or baseball size hail. But that's the way the human mind works. Well, it didn't affect me, so nothing happened. So I want to preface by saying, well, these risks on Sunday and Monday are going to be elevated in that 3 out of 5 category, most likely, if not maybe a little higher. Again, what I'm talking about today is going to change slightly in terms of maybe placement, maybe that outlook area, but this is a general guideline over the through the weekend into next week. Monday is going to be through the Tri-Cities and into, let's see here, and through the Tri-Cities, if you draw a line from, let's call it Sioux City, between Sioux City and Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to the southwest down to maybe Alma area. East of that line is where the severe weather, the highest risk is going to be. Obviously, that includes the Tri-Cities and surrounding areas all the way through Fairbury, Beatrice, Lincoln, York, Seward, Omaha. And that'll be large hail, damaging winds, and even a few tornadoes on Monday as well. So, again, that is kind of the synopsis, Mike. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 80s to low 90s. Next week, we can expect after the storm system kicks out on Monday, depending on where that cold front ends up, we'll probably only hit mid-70s. It'll be warmer to the east, but then as we get beyond Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, look to be in the 60s and 70s at best. So, of course, we're going into Memorial Day weekend, so we've got to cool off because that always seems to be the case here, that we have kind of a cool Memorial Day weekend. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to warm back up for Memorial Day weekend, but we can expect at least a few days after all this weather clears out of cooler weather.
Tim, just really quickly here, from your standpoint as a community meteorologist here for the Hastings area, South Central Nebraska area in particular, is there a concern, like just getting your listeners, your followers, back into the habit of being weather aware? Because quite frankly, we've had such a long stretch here of just kind of Chamber of Commerce style ho-hum weather days. Is it just a matter of getting people kind of back in the habit of being severe weather aware?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ty. I mean, and that's why, again, for those of the folks that follow me, that know me, I'm not a hype monger. I'm not a fear monger. Matter of fact, I try to downplay things if I can. But what I'm asking folks to do is just stay plugged into the forecast and just be weather aware. It doesn't mean that I'm not forecasting Armageddon, but the positive out of this is the potential for rain. Goodness, I drove to the west on Highway 6 through western Adams County into Kearney County, and it is bone dry out there. Even the pivots running and the areas that they just went over, are wet, but the areas that maybe of the previous hours went over, it was bone dry again. So we really desperately need the moisture. And it's not just in western Adams County or Adams County and Clay County and Kearney counties. It's really throughout the state. So that's a positive for the chance to get meaningful rainfall. But this time of year comes severe weather. And the way if you have some storm anxiety and you don't like severe weather, the best thing to do is stay aware and stay plugged in. And that's the best way you can overcome that. And again, people are going to say, well, I'll believe it when I see it, or it won't hit us, or it'll miss it. I deal with folks like that all the time. And even though they're the small majority of all the people I deal with, I am going to address them because yeah, there's always the battle, the haves and have-nots when it comes to rain, severe weather. But just because it didn't affect your house or your neighborhood or your town doesn't mean something wasn't going on. And I'm not forecasting every square inch of every county in Nebraska to get severe weather on all these days. So to answer your question directly, yes, people need to stay weather aware. And, we could say, well, we're due. And statistically speaking, we are. But, yeah, we've had very, very quiet weather. Matter of fact, I don't think I've been live covering severe weather since like last August or September. So that's how long it's been for me.
All right, so the folks in the Tri-Cities area, the biggest concern looks to be, Sunday on into Monday? Is that what you're saying?
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday, there's a 2 out of 5 on the threat scale. And I don't want to focus on that so much. It just becomes a little more widespread. And, of course, some of the threats could be elevated as well as we get into Sunday and Monday. But whether it's, we can get a tornado and a marginal risk, we can get large hail and a marginal risk. It just might come from one storm instead of having maybe 5 or 6. So, yeah, the focus for us here, I think, on the Tri-Cities, the greatest concern, if you will be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's not to say that we may not get anything tonight or tomorrow, but I see right now storms being a little more hit or miss, and maybe a little more favored to our east, especially in Iowa tomorrow. And we may be struggling with a little bit of warm air aloft tonight, and anything that gets going tonight may favor northern, northeast Kansas as well.
You mentioned, Tim, not going live with severe weather since last August. Let's quickly get a plug in for those who want to catch any live coverage that you might do, any updates as this situation continues to unfold throughout the week. What's the best way to get in touch with your forecast via social media?
Well, if you have any seasoned people, and I'm going to put myself in that, and I've been blessed enough to, learn this digital space like you guys are in. People will say, well, what channel are you on? And then I say, well, I'm in the digital space. And their eyes and their face glaze over. So for those of us who are seasoned that don't know how to operate Roku or go to YouTube, not YouTube TV, but the traditional YouTube app, or the traditional YouTube platform where we can watch anywhere from, a bird's nest 24/7 to a guy scaling Mount Everest. If you're not familiar with those platforms, if you have Cobalt TV from Aurora Telecom, we're on channel 45. We're their weather channel there. And the easiest way to follow me, Nebraska Weather TV or Tim Jones Weather, is on Facebook. And when I'm covering severe weather live, I send my live feed to Facebook. So I'm live on my entire platform, and I really make it easy for folks to follow and to watch me during severe weather coverage. So unlike being on a traditional channel, what channel are you on? Well, I'm on multiple channels. And as you guys know, in this digital space, we need to make it as convenient as possible because we're not functioning in the traditional realm. We need to have multiple ways for folks to watch. And, of course, on our Nebraska Weather TV app, the mobile app, the live stream is right there up front on the front page, and you can tap and watch on that as well. And, of course, big shout-out to Shane Will, who's part of your crew that helped me get my stuff going, and the kids at Godsend, love him to death, and he's a great help.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way, Tim. Everybody's on the move. Everybody's going to baseball and softball games. You said parties and things this weekend. That's the easiest way. You're kind of with the folks at 24 hours a day with the weather app, and when you go live, they can watch the severe activity around the area. So that's probably the easiest way is with the phone app.
Yeah, no, I don't know if Shane's going to pull my live feed in to your platform as well this weekend or not. Obviously, if he wants to, if you want to take my live feed, you're welcome to do it. So that might be one more spot that folks might be able to tune in. I'm not sure what you have programming-wise, but you can talk about that with your listeners and viewers. But of course, there's that option as well, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna follow you this weekend, and we are capable of doing that. Now we're all set up for that. So when you go live, and if it affects the immediate area, we'll definitely be with you this weekend. So,
Yep.
Tim, thanks for joining us
We'll have...
today. It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk. What's the summer look like for us? Got any info on the summer?
Yeah, and just real quick, in terms of potential coverage, I do have my storm chasers lived up, so we will be showing the weather, not just telling you about it. We're in this persistent northwest flow pattern. Now, some folks may have heard, and I've mentioned just briefly about transitioning back to an El Nino. So we're in this La Nina pattern, and basically we have cooler waters to the west out in the ocean, and, not the Nebraska Ocean, but out in the Pacific, and we get in this persistent northwest flow, and that's kind of typically a drought pattern for us, hence why we're so dry. Now, that doesn't mean we don't get our thunderstorms, we don't get our severe weather. It just favors drier conditions. And there's been indications for 6 months that we'll get into this El Nino pattern, which really essentially is a warming of the waters in the southern Pacific, which we call in meteorology the Pineapple Express, just because of the jet stream coming around Hawaii and south of there, and favors the southern part of the United States. It increases the monsoon down in the desert southwest and brings more moisture to the southern tier of states and the Gulf Coast area. The last time we transitioned into El Nino was 2 years ago, and we had that really busy severe weather season where Lincoln and Omaha got hit by tornadoes. Of course, we were extremely busy. That was two years ago. And but it almost looks like we could get caught in between that. And of course, it's so far away. And we were originally thinking this might happen in July, and now it looks more like very late summer into fall. Of course, if we do transition into this and our precipitation picks up, naturally it'll be when farmers want to go and start their harvest. Because that's Murphy's Law, right? So if we transition into this El Nino pattern and we do get beneficial moisture, would we break the drought? Maybe, but it might help us getting out of fall, out of the harvest season and through the winter on a better note to set us up better for next year. The problem is that the farmers are already running their pivots. They're running them before they even planted. And, the NRD only allocates so much rain over, a 3 or 5 year period. There's so much rain, so much water from the aquifer, And this is not my forte. So, there's an old saying, you can never tell a farmer something they don't already know. But, some of these guys are going to be paying, fines for overusing water. And, so it'd be nice to get back on track and not have to rely on irrigation so much, and that's going to be the case this year. So a long, drawn-out explanation, Ty, but that's my feeling. I think we're going to stay in a dry pattern through the summer. Am I saying we're not going to get rain? Absolutely not. But the fall, I think, favors a change in the pattern, but I just think it's too far out to say it favors us to get into a wet spring or winter, because that El Nino really favors the south of us.
Okay, Tim, thanks for the info. You filled us in on, I think, everything we need to know this weekend and further. And we'll keep our eyes on the weather situation this weekend. Thanks for all the info.
Yep, gentlemen, have a great weekend.
All right, Tim Jones from the Nebraska Weather Center joining us with an extensive look at the weather this morning as you wake up with Mike and Tyson this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports at 7:39.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll continue to roll with some election results from Tuesday's primary election as Hastings voters have narrowed the field of city council races. The top 2 vote getters in each contest now advance to the general election ballot. We'll start in Ward 1 in South Hastings, where Grant Marsh and Sierra Edmondson will square off in a race for retiring City Councilman Steve Huntley's seat. In Ward 2, Rick Hallett and Rick Clam will face each other in the general election to replace retiring Councilman Brad Consbrook. In Ward 3, it is Mark Rowan facing a challenge from Lucinda Glenn in his re-election bid. And in Ward 4, Amy Sandine and Edward Krantz will advance to replace retiring Councilman Matt Fong. Meanwhile, Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District primary was too close to call after the initial primary election results went final, but State Senator Megan Hunt-backed candidate Denise Powell pulled ahead in the latest vote count and yesterday was declared the winner. The Omaha area race has drawn nationwide attention as Democrats look to target the competitive district in November. It is now 7:41. Let's head back to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Well, the Nebraska baseball team will play at Minnesota today. The Huskers are 38-14 in the season, 20-7 in the conference. The Gophers are 30-20. They're 11-16 in the league. First pitch will be at 2 this afternoon. The Nebraska softball team will host its first regional since 2013 this weekend, as it welcomes number 21 Grand Canyon, number 25 Louisville, and South Dakota State to Lincoln for an NCAA regional. The Huskers are ranked number 1 this week by both the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association and USA Softball. They are 43-6 in the season. They'll be making their 28th overall appearance in the NCAA tournament. The schedule for tomorrow has Grand Canyon playing Louisville at 3, followed by Nebraska against South Dakota State at 5:30. And Jordy Fromm of Nebraska has been named a top 10 candidate for the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year award. Fromm leads the Huskers with a .426 batting average. She has 19 home runs, 10 doubles, and 4 triples to go along with 50 RBIs and 55 runs scored. In the circle, Fromm is 18-4 with a 1.24 earned run average. She has 10 saves and 7 shutouts and has allowed only 31 runs scored in 152 2/3 innings pitched. The list of 3 finalists will be announced on May 18th. Hastings College men's golf team has made the cut at the NAIA Championships in Silvis, Illinois. The Broncos have a 2-day total of plus 29. That's good enough for 9th place. Max Nielsen and Taiki Sugawara of Hastings are tied for 25th place overall with a score of plus 6. And Dordt has won the 2025-2026 Great Plains Athletic Conference All-Sports Trophy. This is the 3rd time the Defenders have won the trophy. Dordt first won the league honor in 2022-2023. They claimed their 2nd trophy last year. Dordt also placed first in the women's standings this year. Northwestern was first in the men's standings. Hastings College was 7th overall. They were 8th in the women's standings and 6th in the men's standings. That's a check on your sports headlines today, brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill. You can check them out at bamboospa.website or on Facebook. 7:44 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
As we get over the next few days, we'll see chances for showers and thunderstorms increase. Temperatures will remain in the upper 80s to low 90s all the way into Monday. What you need to know in terms of severe weather is that on Thursday and Friday, chances will be a little more hit or miss and will favor the southeastern part of the state with large hail and damaging winds. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the chances will increase for the Tri-Cities and Hastings area. Large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes are possible.
As you wake up, get going this morning, we have got south winds at 17. It is sunny, and it is 61 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Will and Science Center Veronica with you. It's a huddle up on Extreme Sports for a Thursday, 14th day of May. Our time schedule's all messed up here this morning, but we'll make this work. Looking at some of the messages we've had on our social media sites, looks like you were talking about Doane making it to the NAIA World Series in Lewiston,
When's the last
Idaho.
time a GPAC team went to the World Series?
Well, our top-notch research department, Dennis, has chimed in. It looks like the last time was Concordia, and it hasn't been too long ago, 2021.
5 years?
Briar Cliff, they made the NAIA World Series in 2005. So
21 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time. 20 years for Briar Cliff and 5 years for Concordia. Now, Doane making it to the World Series for the first time ever in their program's history. They won the Lincoln Regional yesterday. They beat Madonna out of Michigan 7-4.
Chiefs chiming in. More bad news. Go Avalanche. That makes me want to puke. I'm hoping Vegas wins the other series because I'll be in Vegas next week. Oh, we got to get Chief to chime in from Vegas.
What's he going to Vegas for?
He's going to Vegas next week, and we'll hopefully go to a playoff game if Vegas wins.
Yeah,
we got to get the Chief in Vegas.
Yeah, you got Chief's number.
Yeah,
obviously you do.
Yeah.
If the Chief is going to be in Vegas next week, we will get him on the show next week. One way or the other.
A few sodas in.
Yeah. We better get him early in the day.
Well, it's 4.
It's 4 o'clock out there, which
no, 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
just
5 o'clock out there.
5 o'clock.
It bothers me because, A, he could be finishing off his
just getting
day.
in,
yeah, or, he could
just
be
getting started,
getting an early start. One of the two.
There is no in between.
Yeah, knowing Chief, he's probably just finishing up his previous day when we talked to him at 5
He will be looking forward to calling in that early. Yeah.
I bet he is.
We might get a pre-recorded Chief conversation.
God,
call me when you're upright.
Yeah, I know the Raiders tickets out in Vegas are extremely hard to get.
Sure.
I haven't been out there for a while, so I don't know about the Golden Knights. I'm sure they're still quite popular, and their tickets would be obviously tough to grab, especially at playoff time. But
Chief seems to find a way. He was down there. He was down there last football season.
Yeah.
And the Steelers were playing Vegas, and he snuck into T-Mobile Arena or whatever the hell it's. No, not T-Mobile Arena is where they play hockey. Allegiant. Yeah. There it is.
So you got a ticket to the Raiders and the Steelers.
Breakfast Bloody Marys are the best, he says. So he'll be having a breakfast Bloody Mary in our conversation.
Yeah. We'll make a point to call the Chief next week.
I'm sure he'll be pleased.
Let's see what else is going on. What else haven't we touched on today? I think my news and notes are pretty well wrapped up. Talk about the NBA referees calling more fouls in the postseason than the regular season. That's made us happy. The Packers and the Rams playing on Thanksgiving Eve this year on Netflix. And the fan falling out of the stands last night into the Kansas City bullpen. Don't know how he is this morning.
Yeah.
I know that happens occasionally. People falling from the stands, but usually there's something else involved with that.
Was this the Nebraska lands $5 million NIL deal with Matt Rule secures rights to coaches, podcasts, and branding?
Well, I saw that. I saw that this morning. What's that all about?
I'm just pulling it up now. I'm going to read verbatim from CBS Sports. So this is a article that was posted from Brad Crawford from the CBS Sports Network. The Huskers have a $5 million NIL and intellectual property agreement with Rule, which allows the university's athletic department to profit from his House Rules podcast and any apparel-related merchandise featuring his likeness. The documents indicate that Rule will earn $13.5 million as part of the one-time payment. A 4-year deal was extended, obviously, last year during Penn State's coaching search. Up to 75% of Rule's salary at Nebraska will be paid directly to him, with the rest paid to his LLC, according to the agreement. So, just shuffling how the funds go into Matt Rule.
And the university can now profit from his podcast and things like that. $5 million, an additional $5 million.
It's not too bad for a coach
head
podcast.
Coach in Nebraska. Yeah. Interesting. Last night, I was involved with. I made the road trip to York. My grandson's 10
little ball
baseball team that was coached by Tim Stroman. Kids have a unique way of getting involved in games. They have some interesting chants that they have coming out of their dugouts all the time. I'm still trying to figure out one of their chants with tacos, burritos, something else, not your pitch. I'm still trying to figure that one out from last year. Well, they came up with a new one this year that I thought was very, very clever.
Okay.
They start out by going, 911, what's your emergency? Then they respond by, we're stealing.
Wow.
Hey, you get it?
You kind of want to keep that under wraps, though, don't you?
It's 911. What's your emergency? We're stealing.
You don't want to let people know that you're going to be stealing.
Yeah, but in 10U.
We're stealing. I like nacho. What is it?
Nacho, burrito.
No. Nacho is the last one. Burrito, taco, nacho pitch, which is what you throw when the pitcher throws a ball.
Yeah.
You're telling the hitter that it's nacho pitch.
Yeah.
Taco, burrito, nacho pitch. I like that one.
They got another one with lefty legend. When a left-handed hitter comes up on their team, lefty legend. Yeah, the one that caught my eye last night, or caught my ear, 911. What's your emergency? We're stealing.
You know what, man? That's kids having fun at a baseball diamond. I'm okay with it, you know?
I love it. All right, let's get a quick news update here. 7:55 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We continue to focus through the election results from Tuesday's primary election. We focus today on the race for city council seats in Hastings, where the top 2 vote getters in each contested ward now advance to November's general election. We start first in South Hastings, where Grant Marsh and Sierra Edmondson have advanced and will square off in a race to succeed retiring Councilman Steve Huntley. In Ward 2, Brad Consberg is retiring, and Rick Hallett and Rick Clam will face off each other in the general election. In Ward 3, Lucinda Glenn won the bid to face incumbent Councilman Mark Rowan for Mark Rowan's second term in office. And in Ward 4, Amy Sandine and Edward Krantz have advanced, and they will be racing to replace retiring Councilman Matt Fong. Meanwhile, on the national side of things, Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District Democratic primary, it was too close to call after the initial primary results were unveiled. But yesterday, State Senator Megan Hunt's backed candidate Denise Powell pulled ahead in the latest vote count, and yesterday was declared the winner. The Omaha area race, of course, drawing nationwide attention as Democrats look to flip that and target that as a very competitive district come the November general election. It is 7:57. Let's head back to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Well, at the state high school soccer tournament yesterday, Elkhorn beat the Kearney Catholic girls 5-0. The other winners in Class B were Lincoln Pius, Blair, and Omaha Scots. The Class B boys will be on the field today. Gretna will play Lincoln Pius. Omaha Roncalli will take on Elkhorn North. Schuyler will face Omaha Scott, and Bennington will play Lexington. The D6 district track meet was held yesterday in Kennesaw. Giltner won the girls' championship with 96 points. Axtell was second with 92. Silver Lake was third with 91. Wilcox-Hildreth won the boys' crown with 85 points. Dushler was second with 83, and Kennesaw came in third with 67. Class C district track meets will be held today at Johnson County Central, at Louisville, also at Norfolk Catholic, Hardington, West Holt, Boone Central, Sandy Creek, Kearney Catholic, and Perkins County. NBA playoffs last night, Cleveland over Detroit, 117-114. NHL playoffs, Colorado got by Minnesota, 4-3. Sports Today brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa, America's first 24-hour holistic wellness center, located at 208 South Burlington in Hastings or in Blue Hill.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
As we get over the next few days, we'll see chances for showers and thunderstorms increase. Temperatures will remain in the upper 80s to low 90s all the way into Monday. What you need to know in terms of severe weather is that on Thursday and Friday, chances will be a little more hit or miss and will favor the southeastern part of the state with large hail and damaging winds. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the chances will increase for the Tri-Cities and Hastings area. Large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes are possible.
South winds this morning at 17. We've got clear skies 61 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
You could sit at home this weekend, or you could be 350 feet above the North Loop River Valley with a glass of wine in hand. At Maleta Vista Winery, we've got the view, the food, and the wine to make the drive worth it. Lunch, dinner, or small plate appetizers, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. No stress, no rush, just a better way to spend your time. Maleta Vista Winery, come and see what you've been missing. Maleta Vista Winery, St. Paul, Nebraska. Let us know you're coming. 308-754-4416.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson, or
You muted yourself. Unmute.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is Mike Will, Tyson, or Vronic with you on Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for Thursday.
That's all. That's all you were trying to say.
Oh, it happens every time, every day at this time. It shuts my microphone off. That's our cue to get the hell off of the stage.
I think so.
We talked a lot about the weather in the first half hour of the show with our chief meteorologist, Tim Jones, from the Nebraska
Weather TV.
Nebraska Weather TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he talked to us in the first half hour. We're in a 5-day period of time where we could see some severe weather pop up in the area. So if you want to listen to his comments again, you can go back and grab it on the podcast. Go to our social media sites, download the podcast, and listen to the show at your convenience again today, and especially all the weather details that he passed along. If anything pops up in the next few days, of course, we'll have it for you on our video stream as well. We'll hook up with Tim for the weekend, and if anything pops up, we'll have his severe weather coverage right here on our stream at Extreme Sports. That's a nice thing. We can hone in with Tim. And
we can do that.
Yeah, we can get him on. So you can follow his weather stream. If anything pops up this weekend, you can join his stream at Nebraska Weather TV or pop up here on our Extreme Sports video streams, and you'll be able to watch his live coverage. So, all right, we covered a lot here in 1 hour. Anything else that we left on the plate?
No.
I don't think so. I think you need maybe another serving of maybe some bacon, maybe some eggs this morning to go along with our chat. Joining us at the breakfast.
Pretty full, man.
Pretty full?
Pretty full. That was a full breakfast.
We're going to talk horse racing tomorrow with Jim Slacker of the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. And this is Preakness weekend.
Preakness, and first meet in Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln's going to be going on, and Preakness. So we'll talk ponies tomorrow. Anyway, we'll get out of here. Join us again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, for a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.